Hello and welcome to one of those rare things I now do called a video review. This has just arrived on Friday, the day before Valentine's Day, so a little treat to myself from Andy Beck at Lofty's Models, and it of course is the third Bristol Beaufort, this one being a Mark 1A of an aircraft based in the Middle East around about 1944 in Egypt, from an operational conversion unit. Sorry, check and conversion unit I should say. So let's get into it and have a little look. So here she is in the box after the clamshell's been removed. Interesting point is it's one of only 900 now made, which means that Corgi have reduced their sort of limited edition runs, which I think suggests quite a lot really about the demand of the aircraft. As always, come in the plastic clamshell, which is not the easiest to get out, so it's really important to sort of push in these little bits here just to release the aircraft. The stand also comes with the dreaded HE111 sort of pin, which I'll show you anyhow in a minute when it's set up, and of course a bag of accessories. The up undercarriage is usually fitted, which is one of my bugbears because it's sometimes a bit of a pain in the backside to get out of. Obviously comes with a limited edition card, in this case for me it's number 637, and of course the standard sort of Corgi stand. So let's get her out, put her on her wheels and see what she looks like. So here's the aircraft out of its box, and I've laid out all the accessories that come in the little packet, including the stuff that's already put in. So the first bit to take out was this piece, which is the sort of torpedo bay door, and it's actually a die-cast metal bit, which I think is really good, which means there's less risk of breaking the pins, but not the easiest thing to get out. You sort of have to try and prise it out gradually, bit by bit. But I've laid out all the rest of the bits, including the up undercarriage. So these are the two up undercarriage elements. The rear wheel, or the tail wheel, is fixed, so in a fixed down position. And included in the bag, you've got two undercarriage doors either side there, left and right. You've got the torpedo, plus the torpedo doors, plus a rear and front piece that sort of fills the bomb bay, and of course you've got the down undercarriage there. Overall first impressions, I think the paint finish is really, really nice. Like the metal sort of tips on the wings there, I think it looks really cool. And I'll show some more detail once she's on the wheels. Here she is in all her glory in the sort of mid-morning light here. First time we've seen a bit of sunshine in a while actually in Essex. So let's spin her over so you can have a look at all the accessories underneath. So there she is, fully fitted out, as you can see, with the two little bits that go in at the front and sort of aft of the bomb bay to help sort of sit the torpedo snug, and of course the sort of half-sized doors. There's the undercarriage doors on there, and of course the down wheels as well, plus the hole for the stand, which I think is really good. So those who remember the Beaufighter when it was made didn't have facility for you to display it with its wheels down and torpedo in, sorry, because the torpedo covered the hull, which was a bit of a silly point. And obviously the blued out roundels on the underneath, on the blue underneath there, I assume that's azure blue. Somebody might point me in the right direction with that. But there she is, sitting on her undercarriage. Great paint finish. Not a massive amount of stencils on it. From the sort of the first look, there was certainly some underneath on the rudder area, but nothing really other than the major sort of markings. The paint finish is really, really good. It looks right as well for the desert style colouring, and the red spindles on the nose. Bit of a nondescript scheme in the sense of that it's not like a VC winner or a particular pilot. But they've certainly ticked the desert box for a desert Beaufort, which was one of the ones that was asked. But I believe there's going to be, or will have to be, a tooling adjustment if they want to do a Royal Australian Air Force one, especially out in the South East Asian Command area. And there's obviously a lot of talk of that on the Model Hangar Free Forum, certainly led by Mr. Harbour, who's very, very, very keen to see it done right. But overall, really, really nice. You know, the third Beaufort in the scheme. I'll try and see if I can get all three together at some point to do a photo op with it. But of course, this aircraft in 1944 was pretty much at the point the Desert War was pretty much over. You know, Rommel had been chased out of Africa back to Sicily, and of course the Sicilian invasion had begun at this point. So these aircraft out in Egypt were pretty much undisturbed, let's say. Still holding ops, I guess, in the Mediterranean, but nothing in terms of, you know, really being on the front foot as such. So it was a great way of getting the pilots up to speed before they were thrown into combat. So yeah, really good finish. I think Corgi have done a great job on it. I'm not entirely convinced it's going to be a massively successful seller, but in terms of the overall finish and the production, I think they've done a great job of it. Here she is up on the stand. So I did speak about the pin that there. So for anybody who's got a HE11, I mean, they've been known to snap, but this is solid. This is not going anywhere. And again, great design improvement in terms of being able to display it with its ordnance attached. But I think it looks really good. I think they've done a great job. Certainly a great mould, an unexpected one at that. I mean, obviously the Beaufighter was unexpected, but the Beaufort was probably even more unexpected, as we was all expecting Hamden more than anything. But certainly lots of room in the tooling to do many more schemes. I think the three they've done so far are absolute bangers. I don't think it will be contender for Model of the Year, but it's certainly an attractive scheme to add to your desert warfare set collections as such. Brilliant bit of tooling. Well done, Corgi. Now I'll give this a good solid 8 out of 10 if I was to score it. I would have liked something with a bit more history with the pilot attached to it, but of course at this point in the war they were pretty much doing training sorties, and there was more aircraft lost to accidents and mechanical failures than there were you know, being shot down by enemy aircraft, because their superiority in the desert was won well before these were sort of out doing their thing in Egypt. That's it from me. We'll be picking up a Wings monthly at some point early this week. Just need to tie in with Andy Curtis, the plane modeler. If you don't follow him on Instagram, please do. And of course Dan. We're going to talk about the raffle which we have from Flying Tigers. Keep an eye on the page for many more reviews coming. I'll try and do as many video reviews as I can now when I get a chance with new aircraft joining the collection, just to keep it up to date. And of course lots of pictorial ones as well, which I'll follow up this with as soon as I get a chance to photo them. Have a great weekend, folks. Up the hammers as we play Brentford tomorrow, and I'll speak to you soon.